to this video on type of firewall. In the previous video, we talked about firewall concept and how they work. And we definitely talked about firewalls being software that prevents unauthorized communication, right? It's the software that configures to filter and control communications between different networks. And that's what we are talking about here. Now, the first type of firewall you need to be familiar with is the static packet filtering firewall. This will filter communication based on the source address, destination address, the communication protocol, and the port number. And that's it. This is first generation firewall that only operates at layer 3. So that software is looking at the source and the destination, the protocol and the port number in the IP header of the IP packet, and that's all gonna be done at layer 3. Now in terms of implementation, this is also called screened router. It's also called stateless inspection firewall because we are not looking at the state of connection. There is no state because we are only looking at the actual header for source, destination, protocol and port, right? So this is firewall is the fastest in terms of throughput for any other firewall because there's not a lot of overhead in the inspection process. So if we look at this from a practical perspective, let's say we are sending web traffic, right? Port 80 through two different firewalls. Well, as it hits the first firewall, the firewall gonna check the source, destination, port and protocol, and when it gets to the other firewall, it's gonna do the exact same thing. If there's a match in the access control list, then the traffic will permitted. However, if the communication or the IP header in this case does not meet the access control list, then the packet will get discarded. Okay. Now, why it is called screened router or a stateless inspection firewall is you can actually implement these on both of these network devices. So I have done this a lot in my architecture design and I see it done a lot throughout the industry. We can filter, we can apply ACLs and filter traffic on switches, routers. We can even do on the hosts, right? So these are all considered static packet filtering firewalls. And why they are also called screened router. Okay, and again, this is first generation firewall. The next generation or the second generation is the proxy firewall. This filter communication based on application, the service or the session that's being used rather than the source and destination. So we are not so much concerned with the IP address. We are more concerned with the application, the service or the session. And that's what we are focused on here. So the proxy will act as a go-between the trusted and untrusted system. And it will manage all the requested communication. The proxy firewall are capable of protecting the identity of the source and destination. The term proxy itself means act as go-between, right? Act as a go-between. So it's going to manage all the communication. So a trusted system and untrusted system will never directly communicate with each other. The proxy firewall will sit in between them, and again this is a second generation firewall technology, and there are two different variants of this proxy firewall. There is a circuit level gateway and an application level gateway that you need to be familiar with, and oftentimes these are both paired together as a part of firewall architecture. And I will show you an example of how this works here in just a second. Before we moved on to the example, I want to explain how the proxy actually works. There's a forward proxy which receives internal request for use of external service. Then there's a reverse proxy where an external client is trying to get access to the internal service. So the forward proxy is our internal clients trying to communicate outbound. Reverse proxy is external client trying to communicate inbound. Now, how these proxies works? Let's start with circuit level gateway. You have a browser that's gonna want to make a connection over the web server, right? So it's gonna request that session. Well, that circuit level gateway or the proxy in this case is going to intercept the communication and make the request on behalf of the browser. So now the web server and the gateway are talking to each other, right? So the proxy gonna forward that request. The web server's going to accept that request and say, yes, that's fine, let's go ahead. Then the circuit level gateway will respond back to the client, which is the browser, and say, okay, we can create that connection. And from this point forward, all of the communication is going to be managed right here at this proxy firewall. Okay, now what's important to note here is that at the circuit level, the only responsibility for this gateway is to ensure the connection is created. So in other words, to make sure TCP handshake is completed and that it can be analyzed as part of this session management, right? Because this is a layer 5 firewall here, so it's managing that session layer, right? So that's what we are talking about. So how it creates the circuit is, you have the different connection that want to come in, right? So let's say we have multiple browser and multiple servers and they are wanting to make the connection. What ends up happening is, within the circuit level gateway or the proxy, you are going to have circuits that are created here and that will establish those connections, and that's how the gateway keeps track of all the different connections. Okay, that's why it's called circuit, because you have inside proxies and outside proxies and those things are connected to create that circuit. And again, all we are tracking here at this level is the session and the TCP handshake. That's all we are concerned with. That's why we oftentimes need the application level gateway to manage all of the higher level communication. So again, we have the browser wanting to make connection. The proxy will go ahead and forward that connection over. The web server responds and then connection is created. Same thing at this level from a proxy perspective. Now, the application level gateway is managing everything at layer 7. So now we are focused more on the user interaction and the protocol that are happening at layer 7. So notice that we are not doing anything at layer 3, which is where we would track all the IP addresses, right? That's why we don't track those at this level. We are focused on the protocol and the communication path. This particular gateway will impact the network throughput. Now, when using this, what makes this so complicated is that copy of everything is transferred to the proxy server. So copies from all the data get transferred here, then they get transferred over to the client. So that's going to decrease your network speed. It's going to increase your latency, which is going to slow down everything. So this may not be the best choice for you if availability is one of the highest tenets of security. So that's when we would step things up to a stateful inspection firewall. This is where we are going to dynamically filter communication based on the state and the behavior of the data within the packet. So now, instead of stateless, we are doing stateful. This is going to be your third generation firewall technology, and we are looking at layer 3 and layer 4. So we are looking at network layer and that transport layer with the particular firewall. So state means the statutes of the data, and that's what it's focused on here. So the state of the firewall is going to track the state of the data, and if anything is not right, it's going to discard the content and end the session or the connection that exists between firewall. And how that work is like this. Let's say we have that sample. We have the same example where browser trying to connect to web server. It's gonna try to connect through stateful firewall, which is fine. The firewall going to check the state table and the inspection policy to make sure that everything meets the current configuration. If it's okay with the security policy, then communications will be allowed to go through. Now, the dynamic part of this is the firewall is going to negotiate what's called high port to communication. What's called a high port to communicate on. So if we connect on port 80, that's for web traffic, right? What if we have 20 clients, 50 clients, 1000 clients, 100,000 clients? All are trying to connect port 80. That's impossible, right? Because web server can only listen to one connection on port 80. And based on the protocol, the firewall will make an entry into the state table saying, hey, this is web service is gonna talk on port 8080 now, or 8081 or 8082, right? And start negotiating those high ports. Remember, the common ports are 0 through 1023. All of the high ports are 1024 and above. So that's what we are talking about here. So it will negotiate communication or connection all those high ports and then track them all throughout the entire communication session. So the main goal is that this connection path creates an automatic return path so that it is not blocked and you don't need to create ACL on both ends. And that's where the dynamic feature comes into play here. So the connection only needs to be defined in the state table and the inspection policy, and then firewall will do the rest work for you. So now if you really want to get serious, this is where you take up things. This is when you deploy next generation firewall or a next gen firewall. This is going to dynamically filter communication just like the stateful inspection firewall will. But now we are looking at intervals and the external threats using integrated security service or security features. And these firewalls are also called unified threat management. They are also called multifunctional device. There are a lot of different names for them. The idea is that a single security solution is provided using multiple and different security capabilities. Next-gen firewall can perform application, URL and web content filtering using what's called deep packet inspection. They can detect threats using SSL and TLS inspection, intrusion detection and intrusion prevention, malware scanning and more. And basically the practical example I showed here, think of the next generation firewall being capable of doing all of those and more. So the bottom line for this video is to know the different firewall we talk about here and understand how each of them work.